Remember when sauces were simple? A little ketchup to dunk your fries, maybe some mayo on your sandwich. That was it. No fuss, no hidden surprises. But those days are over. While you've been grabbing your go-to bottles, some everyday store sauces have quietly turned into sugar-laden, salt-heavy, overly processed flavor bombs. What was once a harmless sidekick to your meal might now be packing the punch of a hidden sugar rush or a sodium overload, and your taste buds and body are paying the price. So let's talk about the 4 sauces you should avoid at all costs, and 2 that actually deliver clean flavor without the nasty extras. Because life's too short to drown your food in condiments that wreck your health and your burger. Smash that subscribe button. We're about to rescue you from some seriously disappointing sauces. Number 4, Heinz tomato ketchup. Here's the thing about Heinz ketchup. It's been sitting on American tables since the late 1800s. Your grandparents used it. Your parents used it. You probably have a bottle in your fridge right now. But what started as simple tomato taste has morphed into something much heavier on sugar and salt. You squeeze out that thick, sticky red glob. Smooth, viscous, clinging to your fries like sweet cement. The flavor hits you immediately. Aggressively sweet, overpoweringly tangy, drowning out whatever you're actually trying to eat. That burger you spent money on? Yeah, now it just tastes like Heinz. 1 tablespoon carries about 20 calories, roughly 4 grams of sugar. That's a full teaspoon of pure sugar. And around 160 milligrams of sodium. That's 11% of your daily sodium limit in 1 squirt. Most people use way more than a tablespoon, turning their innocent fries into a sodium bomb. You're essentially paying a few dollars for a 20-ounce bottle of concentrated sugar and salt with some tomato paste thrown in for color. The high fructose corn syrup is the real villain here. It's not even real sugar, or it's cheaper, sweeter, and engineered to keep you coming back. Reviewers consistently cite that artificially sweet taste, that cloying sensation that buries the actual flavor of your food. Compared with lower sugar or more natural ketchups on the market, Heinz tastes like diet theater, pretending to be a condiment while actually being candy. Heinz survives on nostalgia and brand recognition. They're banking on you buying what you know, even though your dietary needs have probably changed since 1985. You're paying for sugar and salt, not real tomato flavor. So if Heinz is coasting on nostalgia, at least it's trying to be ketchup. Our next sauce doesn't even pretend to care about your health. Number 3, Hellmann's Real Mayonnaise. Hellmann's has been the mayo king for over a century. That blue ribbon jar screams tradition, comfort, classic sandwiches at family picnics. But here's where it gets tricky. That thick, creamy spread you're slathering on your turkey club, it's basically soybean oil, eggs, vinegar, and salt whipped into a dense, oily paste. The texture clings to everything: bread, salads, your arteries. 1 spoonful, and your meal goes from light to heavy, from fresh to greasy. What makes this particularly frustrating is the calorie load. 1 tablespoon packs roughly 90 to 100 calories. That's 7% of a 2,000 calorie diet, plus a substantial chunk of fat and sodium. That's before you've even added the actual sandwich ingredients. Most people don't stop at 1 tablespoon either. They glub it on, turning what should be a simple lunch into a greasy mess that sits in your stomach like a brick. Listen to this. Buyers consistently note the greasiness. It doesn't enhance flavor, it smothers it. That fresh lettuce, soggy and limp. That tomato, swimming in oil. Compared with lighter oil-based spreads or even homemade mayo, Hellmann's feels unnecessarily heavy and processed, like it was engineered for shelf life rather than taste. Want to know the worst part? Hellmann's sells comfort and tradition, a creamy mayo associated with classic sandwiches and summer cookouts. But they're relying on your habits, not your health. They don't need to improve the recipe because you keep buying it anyway. You're paying for calories and fat, not a clean, balanced flavor. At least mayo has the decency to stay on your sandwich. This next sauce wants to drown everything you own in corn syrup. Number 2, Sweet Baby Ray's BBQ sauce. Since the 1980s, Sweet Baby Ray's has dominated the BBQ sauce game. Walk into any supermarket and there it is. Rows of thick, syrupy bottles promising bold, smoky, sweet flavor. And yeah, it delivers on the sweet part. Boy, does it deliver. This sauce is a sugar bomb in a bottle. Pour it out and you get a sticky, dense syrup that drips like molasses. The texture alone should be a warning sign. This isn't sauce, it's candy disguised as condiment. The flavor hits hard, intensely sweet, with some tangy vinegar and smoky notes buried way down underneath all that high fructose corn syrup. Check the label on this one. A single tablespoon can contain massive amounts of sugar and sodium. Some nutritional labels show 16 grams of sugar per 2 tablespoon serving. That's 4 teaspoons of sugar, or 27% of your recommended daily intake, just for sauce, plus 350 milligrams of sodium, 15% of your daily limit. You're essentially coating your ribs in liquid diabetes with a side of hypertension. But here's where it gets tricky. It completely dominates whatever you put it on. Grilled a perfect chicken breast? Gone. A smoked ribs for 6 hours? Can't taste it. All you get is that cloying, syrupy sweetness coating your tongue like you just licked a candy store floor. Reviewers love to praise the taste. And yeah, sugar tastes good. That's not exactly groundbreaking. But many admit it's too sweet, too syrupy, too artificial. Compared to more balanced, lower sugar BBQ sauces that actually let you taste the smoke and spice, Sweet Baby Ray's feels like culinary punishment. The psychology is obvious. Sweet Baby Ray's knows sweetness sells. They've engineered an addictive flavor that keeps you buying, regardless of what it does to your blood sugar or sodium intake. It's flavor cravings over nutritional responsibility, and they're laughing all the way to the bank. You're paying for a sugar bomb in a bottle, not real BBQ flavor. And if you think brand name sugar bombs are bad, wait until you see what the bottom shelf bargain bins are hiding. Number 1, generic mass market sauces. Beyond the big names, there's a whole world of cheap, heavily processed sauces designed to fill shelf space and empty your wallet. Off-brand ketchups with names you don't recognize. Generic BBQ sauces priced at 99 cents. Mystery condiments promising value while delivering garbage. Let me be clear about these products. They're not designed to taste good. They're designed to be cheap. The ingredients list reads like a chemistry experiment. A tomato concentrate, sure, but then loads of high fructose corn syrup, excessive salt, preservatives you can't pronounce, artificial flavorings, synthetic colorings. The texture varies wildly, sometimes watery and thin, sometimes gloopy and grainy, occasionally both in the same bottle. The taste, artificial, overly sweet or salty, sometimes metallic, often just plain synthetic. Pay attention to this. These sauces rarely taste fresh because they're not meant to. They're engineered for maximum shelf life and minimum production costs. That 99-cent price tag seems like a bargain until you actually use the product and realize you've been had. The nutritional panels tell the real story. High sugar, high sodium, mysterious preservatives. Consumers frequently complain about inconsistent texture and that artificial aftertaste that lingers long after the meal is over. Portion for portion, you're getting poor taste and potential health downsides that make even Heinz look premium by comparison. The whole game is profit. These products exist to maximize margins. They target price-sensitive shoppers who are too busy or too broke to care about ingredient quality. The companies making these sauces know you're probably only going to use it once or twice before the bottle sits in your fridge door for 18 months. The most cynical part? They're counting on quick consumption before the quality, or lack thereof, becomes apparent. By the time you realize you've bought cardboard covered in corn syrup, you've already choked down your meal and tossed the rest. You're paying less money, but losing flavor, health, and real food value. If this is already saving you from a bad meal, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Now let me tell you about the 2 sauces that won't make you feel like garbage. Safe choice. Number 1, Primal Kitchen Classic Organic and Unsweetened BBQ Sauce. Now let's talk about what actually works. Primal Kitchen built their brand on clean eating, and their classic BBQ sauce delivers on that promise without the preaching. This is organic, unsweetened, and completely avoids refined sugars or high fructose corn syrup. It's designed for people who want real flavor without wondering if they just ate dessert. The texture is thick but not syrupy, when it coats your food without drowning it. Pour it out and you immediately notice the difference. It flows like actual sauce, not like you're squeezing honey onto your ribs. The taste is balanced, tangy from natural vinegar, slightly smoky from real spices, with genuine tomato notes coming through instead of being buried under sugar. The nutritional info tells the real story. Around 20 calories per tablespoon, 0 grams of fat, and quality ingredients you can actually pronounce. Because it skips cane sugar and high fructose corn syrup entirely, your blood sugar doesn't spike and crash like you just mainlined a candy bar. Look at the reviews. Users on health food forums and clean eating communities consistently highlight this as one of the rare sauces that taste real. It doesn't derail your diet. It doesn't make you feel sluggish an hour later. Compared to standard BBQ sauces that are basically bottle science fiction, the value proposition is crystal clear. Yeah, the price stings a bit. You're paying about $6 to $7 per bottle instead of $3. But you're getting honest flavor without the sugar trap. You're not paying for marketing spin or celebrity endorsements. You're paying for tomatoes, vinegar, and spices that won't wreck your afternoon. A smoky, honest BBQ kiss, flavor without the sugar trap. And if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Speaking of cutting through the noise, let's talk about ketchup that doesn't insult your intelligence. Safe choice. Number 2. Sir Kensington's Classic Ketchup. Sir Kensington's built their entire brand on being the anti-Heinz. They use vine-ripened tomatoes, fair trade cane sugar instead of high fructose corn syrup, minimal additives, and a simpler ingredient list that doesn't read like a chemistry textbook. The texture is smooth but not overly thick. It pours like ketchup should, not like you're wrestling with concrete. The taste feels cleaner, brighter. You get real tomato notes, genuine vinegar tang, without that syrupy heaviness that coats your mouth. It's less sweet than standard ketchups, and that's exactly the point. Check the numbers. The nutritional data shows about 15 calories and modest sugar content per serving compared to processed ketchup. That might not sound revolutionary, but those calories and grams add up fast when you're squirting ketchup on everything from eggs to pizza. What makes this particularly impressive is the consumer response. Among people who care about natural ingredients and avoiding high fructose corn syrup, Sir Kensington's gets consistently praised for real flavor and ingredient transparency. Reviewers cite the taste difference immediately. It's ketchup that lets you taste your fries instead of overwhelming them. So yeah, it costs more than budget ketchups, but you're paying for quality and a formula that won't spike your insulin. Sir Kensington succeeds by catering to eaters who are tired of being sold sugar water with red dye. People who want familiar condiments without the lab-manufactured aftertaste. Ketchup that puts tomatoes first and keeps the sugar second. The condiment aisle isn't just a menu of sauces, it's a minefield. For every bottle that promises sweetness or creaminess, there's another waiting to sneak in extra sugar, salt, and unnecessary additives. From the syrupy clutches of Sweet Baby Ray's to the fatty slap of Hellmann's mayo, and even classic staples like Heinz, many store-bought sauces are more guilty indulgence than harmless flavor. Meanwhile, underdogs like Primal Kitchen's unsweetened BBQ sauce or Sir Kensington's cleaner ketchup remind us that flavor doesn't have to come at the cost of health or quality. The best sauces don't mask your food, they enhance it. The worst? They drown it in sugar, salt, and regret. So next time you shop, check the label, not just the label's promise. Choose sauces with transparent ingredients, modest sugar and sodium, and honest flavor. Your wallet might take a slightly bigger hit up front, but your body won't be paying interest later. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll browse the condiment shelf, and drop a comment naming the sauce you think deserved a spot or got snubbed. Your taste buds and body will thank you.